Yo. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy CIZZ live action, Kansas City, Missouri. As you already know, we are back at it again with another solo episode with your host, Collis Stutzer, the Collis Stutzer Show. Man, I'm always happy to jump on here and chop it up with you guys. Really, mainly because it provides me an opportunity to have some dope conversations with people about their thoughts on my episodes, whether it's an interview with somebody, whether it's a solo episode. Oftentimes it stimulates at least one conversation with somebody I haven't talked to in a while, or just with somebody. And it's always a blessing to jump on here and just chop it up about my life, chop it up about things that I'm interested in, and or chop it up with another dope black or brown entrepreneur and highlight their stories, provide them a platform to share their journey and all the ups and downs and the lessons learned, and just all the interesting things people go through in their life on their way to starting a business or developing a new skill. And it's just awesome to be here. So today we are on a solo episode. Typically when I do solo episodes, it just means that currently we don't have any guests lined up in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I do solo episodes to kind of update you guys on what's going on with me or some of my interests, but also to, fill space. And a great way to fill space is just chop it up with the audience and be on here by myself. It is always a little bit awkward because I am used to interviewing people, and that's how I have conversations. It's just having conversations with others. So coming on here with like a plan of what to talk about or trying to figure out what will be a good topic is always interesting and challenging, but we do our best. So right now, in the books, coming up, we have the owners of the Jungle Juice smoothie and juice and smoothie bar. That's a new joint in Lee Summit, brick and mortar. Go in there, get you some great juice, some great smoothies. I interviewed the two owners of that business about a week ago, and we're working on getting that out. So be on the lookout for that. Here in about 2 weeks, we have an interview with Craig Moore. So you guys, if you don't know who he is already, get ready, because he's a super dope individual doing a lot for the city, a lot for the town, working with a lot of amazing black professionals, and doing some dope shit for the community. So I look forward to having that conversation, look forward to that coming out soon. And then we're trying to line up some interviews with some other dope individuals working in the space and trying to uplift entrepreneurs for the Kansas City area. And then, as always, looking for dope people across the globe doing dope shit. What they say, representation is so powerful. And why it's so powerful is that you need to see the manifestation of, what could be if you apply yourself, right? You need to see the manifestation of somebody that looks like you doing something that you thought may not have been possible because you haven't seen somebody who looks like you doing that. So being able to have these individuals on doing amazing things, I hope provides some sort of inspiration and hope and faith in the spirit of individuals who are watching this, who thought that something may not have been possible, but now think it's possible because they've seen somebody who looks like them doing it. So yeah, man, we're just trying to bring more people on that represent that message and provide value in that space and in that world. So amazing. With that being said, let's jump into today's topic, which is updates on my life, updates on the businesses I'm working on, just so you guys can kind of get a behind the scenes of, what the host is doing and what I spend a lot of my time doing. And then we're going to touch on something that I saw this week that's super dope. So let's start there, man. The Elon Musk of fitness. The Elon Musk of fitness. Now, I can't take responsibility for, creating the term Elon Musk of fitness for this specific individual. The video I watched, the dude who was interviewing him, the owner of Barbell Brigade, I forget his name, but super dope guy, was interviewing / doing a tour with Christian Guzman of Alpha Land. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Christian Guzman is, in around 2012, 2013, this young man created a YouTube channel focused on fitness, his journey to compete, I believe, in like bodybuilding shows and things of that nature, and just his workout journey in general. As he started to build an audience, he opened up his own gym, and people started following him in his workout journey, his cuts, his bulking processes, his opening up his first gym in a 900 square foot area, just documenting his journey. And then over the years, he launched a brand, Alpha Elite, which some of you guys might know. You might be wearing their brands to the gym. Then he launched another company called 3D, which is energy drink. You can find it in your local Quick Trips, your local gas stations. A whole bunch of it's like a solid gradient color, and then it has 3D on the front of it. If you look for that, he also owns that company. And marries the girl of Buff Bunny if you wear Buff Bunny clothing. So Christian Guzman, huge YouTuber, built a few dope brands, and over the past few years, he's been building a new gym that has 3 gyms, multiple turf football fields, multiple basketball courts, I think 18, 19 acres of land, super dope office spaces, an athlete lounge, a lounge for people to come in, a super dope eating area for people to, get their food, get their macros after the workout, before the workout, lounge areas for them to hang out in, 3 separate gyms, a bougie one, and then 2 raw ones where you can just go in there and get busy, loud music, shirts off, lifting heavy weights, like just the vibes you're looking for. He provided 3 different vibes of gyms, a retail store, retail stores for some of his best friends who also have fitness brands, like a super dope area. It's kind of like the Disney of fitness, if you could think of it in that way. And the dude who was interviewing him was like, "You're sort of like the Elon Musk of fitness." And I was like, man, low-key facts. When we think about Elon Musk, we have him involved in PayPal. We have him building one of the largest electric car companies ever in Tesla. We have him launching rocket ships to space. We have him buying Twitter most recently. Like, just super huge in a multitude of different areas. And we see Christian Guzman doing the same thing. I've kind of been following his journey on YouTube for years and years, and I just thought what he's doing super dope. So if you're interested in fitness, if you're interested in just like dreaming big, bro, check out Christian Guzman and what he's done with Alpha Land. He's definitely an inspiration to me. Me being in a few different lanes and also being in fitness, he's definitely an inspiration to me, and I highly suggest you guys go check him out. So shout out Alpha Land, shout out Christian Guzman, shout out 3D, shout out Alpha Elite. Go check out the brands, super dope. Let's see. I want to move on to my quote of the day. I always try to do a quote of the day when I do a solo episode, and I always typically try to do somebody who inspires me, and today is Jay-Z. And Jay-Z once said, I will not lose, for even in defeat, there's a valuable lesson learned, so it evens up for me. The reason I chose this quote today is because, so often we beat ourselves up when we're not like as quote unquote successful, whatever successful means to you, quote unquote as successful as we thought we could be at this age. Like, for example, at 17, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna have 3 kids, I'm gonna have a fat crib, I'm gonna be married, I'm gonna be like wealthy at 23. But 23 was 3 years ago. And I'm absolutely not there in any of those lanes. But being able to understand that the journey is where you learn, the journey is the process that you enjoy, the journey is what's, your legacy is how you leave your legacy. It's the relationships you build during the journey. It's the ups and downs you go through, the character building, like all of these things that you're going through in your personal journey right now. Although they could be perceived as failures, they're also valuable lessons that are learned in those, downs. There's also, lessons learned in the ups. But in order to go up, you must learn what doesn't work. And what doesn't work and how you learn that happens through trial and error. So through every failure, you learn something, and you learn how to not do that again, or you progress from then on out, right? So instead of beating yourself up for quote unquote failing or not hitting your quarterly goal this year or this month, or the past 3 months, not hitting your yearly goal, what did you learn from that? You didn't get your 6-pack this year because why? Because you couldn't stay consistent. Maybe you were binging a lot. Maybe you couldn't find a gym routine that was really interesting to you or enjoyable to you. You couldn't reach your goal of getting one listener on your podcast because why? You couldn't figure out what was entertaining. You couldn't figure out what to talk about. You couldn't be consistent, right? These are all learnings, and then you can apply, action against these learnings the next year, the next quarter, the next day, the next month, the next week, right? So appreciate your failures, learn from them, grow, move on. And that's the quote of the day. Shout out Jay-Z. Boom. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump into a little update about the life of your host. What's going on? What am I working on? What are my priorities? What are my focuses right now? Just so you guys, like I said, get to know your host a little bit more, get to know what I'm doing behind closed doors. And, of course, if you want to support, you can support. So, number one. My number one priority right now, what I'm putting a lot of my energy towards, what I'm focused on growing, is my coaching business. Nutritional coaching and personal training, online and in person. So currently right now I'm finishing up a nutrition coaching certification through Nutrition Coaching Institute. A lot of you guys might follow or know who Jason Phillips is. Huge nutrition coach, coaches a lot of huge UFC athletes, CrossFit athletes over the past 10 years on the nutrition end. And he created a course over the past few years that's been, basically celebrated and really liked by other, professionals in the personal training, strength training, and nutrition coaching industries. And I've been kind of following what they're doing for the past 3 years and finally decided to pull the big money spend the past 2 months ago or maybe a month ago. So I've been working on completing that certification, really working on developing and understanding how to build an online coaching business, really understanding how to apply the knowledge to an individual, and spending a lot of energy there while also trying to build my personal training business with in-home coaching, trying to find some in-home clients. I had a goal of getting 2 in-home clients in the first quarter of 2022. I did not achieve that goal, but I did get 1. So that's a positive, and we're working on getting some more in-home clients. I'm also currently training at a local gym in the Leawood Overland Park area in Kansas, and really love my clients there. A lot of dope individuals that I'm able to connect with, have amazing conversations with, and as expected, help them work towards their fitness goals. And being able to add nutrition coaching into the mix really is helpful in order to have, more elevated conversations around those topics, with helping my in-person training clients get to their specific goals, whether that's put on some muscle mass, whether that's lose fat, whether that's maintain where they're at, whether that's feel healthier and more energized and get better sleep, whatever that is. This nutrition coaching education and learning how to apply it, mixed with the past 4 years of personal training and still learning how to apply coaching principles on that end, I think will be helpful in building my business. So just trying to get better at being a coach, communication, understanding behavior, understanding psychology, and learning how to apply all these things into coaching these clients, right? And then on the flip side of that, in order to get clients, retain clients, and help clients grow, I need to understand the business aspect of it. So also learning the business side and really trying to apply that. So just out here making content, learning the business side of things, learning how to apply the knowledge I'm learning, and just trying to grow that business. So a lot of my energy is going towards that. With that being said, if you are interested in nutrition coaching, yes, this is me pitching right now. If you're interested in nutrition coaching online or in person, but primarily online, or if you're interested in personal training, or if you're interested in both of them together, online, or if you are in the area in person, let me know. Shoot me a DM, shoot me an email at coach, Stutzer, at gmail.com, coachstutzer at gmail.com, and we can talk about it. All right. I'm also focused on number 2 priority, the Collis Stutzer Show, which you're watching right now. Hopefully you're enjoying right now, whether you're listening to this on a drive or just bored at home watching your friend make a podcast. And if you're doing that, I love you. And yeah, man, just trying to have super, super dope guests. Figuring out, the Collis Stutzer Show is under the umbrella of Voices of Value Media Company, right? And Voices of Value also has a clothing line under it, which we'll talk about here in a second. And also it has, the podcast, and those are the two primary businesses, sub businesses of Voices of Value Media, or just, the entire, company in general, right? I'm also trying to grow the YouTube, thinking about new ways to create content and what I'd be interested in. So we're trying to figure that out. And, just trying to get it down, right? So in terms of the main thing, man, it's the podcast. Under Voices of Value Media, we're focused on just growing this podcast, interviewing more guests, providing more value, and just getting more listeners so that we can help more people, inspire more people, and impact people through these, stories of super dope founders, super dope creatives. And it's not the easiest, man. I want to find super dope guests that I think are going to provide a lot of value. And there's a whole lot of people I could just randomly interview, but just being more selective about the type of people I bring on the show, and making sure they're individuals who, I really feel like I can identify with their story, or I can identify with what they're doing, and I feel like they'll be, able to communicate and let their message come across in an inspirational way, right? So just trying to find dope guests consistently, and post these episodes consistently. I missed last Friday, so I'm recording this today on Friday to get it out today on Friday. Hopefully, we'll see if that works. But and so just trying to be consistent there, man. So that's that. Let's move on to priority number 3. Priority number 3 is Voices of Value clothing, right? The Voices of Value merch line under the Voice of Value Media, right? So we started VOV Clothing, me and my boy Dre, with the tagline of what this podcast used to be called, the Culture Talks, right? The Culture Talks, all that really means, to keep it simple for you guys right now, is that, your culture, how you grow up, the community you come from, has a story. It speaks for itself. You don't need anyone else to tell your story outside of your community. You can tell that story. You can use that story to build an empire. You can use your story to feed your family. You can use your story to impact and inspire others. The culture talks. It speaks for itself, right? And Voices of Value kind of really is to let people know that whether you're somebody who is a underrepresented, or you feel like your voice hasn't been heard, that your voice is of value, and to do everything in your power to make sure it's heard. And we try to do that through the podcast. We try to do that by inspiring individuals to speak out and have the courage by rocking the clothing. And that's kind of the message behind the clothing. We've kind of paused that the past few months due to capital, due to not having the capital to grow that right now, and it's okay. But when that time comes again, keep an eye out. We're going to come back with that strong. And then another business a friend of mine and I are working on, shout out to Malad, is Tier 1 cleaning. So this is the fourth thing that I'm really focused on, and these are the 4 things I'm focused on a daily basis outside of just my lovely lady here to the side of the camera and my own personal health, right? So outside of those 2 things, these are the 4 things I'm focused on spending a lot of my energy on. So Tier 1 cleaning essentially is a remote cleaning business. What does that mean? It means that we utilize Google ads, Facebook ads, signs on the street, chalk on the street, like anything to bring leads in. Once we have a lead and they book a cleaning, we hire we subcontract out the work to contract cleaners, right? So cleaners who have their own businesses, their own LLCs, we provide them jobs through bringing the leads in, and we take a percentage of that. So that's essentially what we do. We bring in the leads. We assign the cleanings to subcontractors, and those contractors fulfill the cleanings, and we pay them for the job. We handle all the customer side, so communication with the customer, the bookings, the payments, everything with the customer. We're customer facing, and then everything with fulfilling the job is done through a contractor, a cleaner. And so we're trying to build that up and make it pop. And so that's where our energy is going, man. So those are the 4 things that I'm focused on right now, spending my time on, and really just trying to grow each of those things. That way I can do what I love, do what I enjoy, and financially provide for the family I hope to build, and be happy, joyful, and just have impact on the world. So I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little solo podcast with your host, CIZZY, or as most of you know me, just Collis. And I look forward to more solo podcasts in the future, and hopefully more solo podcasts that are more entertaining, more in depth. But again, just wanted to update you guys, get this episode out, and maintain consistency. Look out for our episode with the owners of the Jungle Juice and Smoothie Bar in Lee Summit. Go check them out. That episode should be coming out in the next 2 Fridays. And then, sometime in May, our episode with Craig Moore should be coming out. So keep an eye out for those episodes. We're going to keep them coming. We're going to try to stay consistent. And I'm going to keep it booming on the other ends, man. I'm going to try to boom that coaching business out. Trying to boom the clothing company and bring that back. Trying to boom the cleaning company. And let's get it. Let's go. I love y'all. Have a blessed day. And remember to leave a 5-star review, as that is the only way we can grow. Salud.